all these other Blink Dagger offlaners. And so part of the reason why he falls off is, yeah, sure, he'll deal plenty of damage, and his auras are just as useful, but he can't start fights nearly as well as other offlaners.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised there's no Centaur ban. You had that Rubik, and maybe that was it is another option that they could have gone with, which that combination of the Centaur Rubik is pretty classic.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it is kind of surprising. Ultimately, Gyrocopter would have been better against a Centaur than an Underlord, just because Gyrocopter is so good at dealing with Retaliate, just with the Rocket Barrage and Flak Cannon. So technically, in this specific setup, Underlord is going to be superior, but I do like the direction that Unique are going for. Like I said, I think they should emphasize team fight. They should emphasize being able to brawl early on and not really be very cooldown dependent. Because, again, I find it immensely difficult for them to be able to breach structures with the way that Empire Hope have drafted so far.
So we'll see what they want to go for, as they are working on this last ban. Do you think
they don't really know what the Weaver is? I mean, I don't think it'll be a 4 position. I still am pretty confident that it'll be a 3 position. So if I were them, I would just ban out like some 5 that could be a very, very solid team fighter. Let's see, what do Unique play?
I don't know if I'd want to give up. I mean, I'd be okay if I was Team Empire Hype giving up a Lich, but if I'm Team Unique and I need a 5 position, I don't know if I'd want to pick Lich against this lineup. All of a sudden, you get a Stolen Chain Frost and a Soul Line going your way.
Yeah, and there's a lot of magic damage that the Frost Shield wouldn't really be that useful. They used to play some Willow, but Willow's kind of fallen off. Treant Protector wouldn't be bad.
Could just be the IO. Ooh, Queen of Pain.
Okay, never mind. Or it's well, actually, it could be a 4 Queen of Pain or a 4 Weaver, but I guess it's probably at least a 5 Tusk at the minimum. How the hell are they going to lane this?
Yeah, odd pick.
10 seconds.
I mean, I guess it's a 19 Queen of Pain because they ban out the Templar Assassin. So I'm guessing mid-quap, off-lane DK.
4 Weaver, 5 Tusk.
Yeah, that would be my best guess. It's super greedy. But at the same time, as good as Empire Hope are at preventing pushes, they're not very good at pushing themselves. And Slark does not necessarily help that out. But if it is an offlane DK, then Slark is going to make mincemeat out of him. Let's see, Unique have not selected any of their heroes yet.
We misclicked all our heroes. Remake, please.
I mean, I think their draft is fine. It's just incredibly greedy, and the only reason they can get away with this is because Empire Hope cannot push like at all. None of the heroes are good at it. Slark like has to win a fight, and Underlord, sure, he'll be very, very tanky. Oh, Vanscore is going to be on the DK, and BZZ Weaver.
What? 5 position DK?
Interesting. I think this is because of the Slark. I think they don't want to give the DK a core roll because of the Slark last pick. But I also don't know what a 5 position DK offers against an Underlord.
Division 2, you know? It's shocking the world with the new meta that was just developed. Jeez.
I don't call him Team Unique for nothing.
Seriously. Speaking of Unique, that Gyrocopter set, I think that was one of the ultra rares in previous TI.
Oh, was it really? Yeah, I've seen
B
plenty of
set.
particles here.
Yeah, plenty of.
Oh, I get it. Oh, okay, the honeycombs. Yeah, I see the bees. Wow, okay, that's a very thematic set.
Yeah, it's very interesting, although it now scares me because I read a report today that said those killer wasps, those big wasps from Japan, have now made their way to the United States. And I imagine them being gyrocopter sized. It's
terrifying.
Apparently they are strong. Their venom is strong enough to take out a human. And their fangs are like shark fins. I don't understand that, although it scares me, and I want nothing to do with it. This gyro.
I thought shark fins are like cartilage and soft.
Well,
that seems like a bad comparison.
Shaped like shark fins.
Oh, shaped like shark fins. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
then that's pretty terrifying.
They have a big mandible. Great word to describe something scary.
Yeah, that thorax is also always a very intimidating term to hear.
Well, who was the wrestler, the mandible? That might even been a cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that was a cartoon. I don't think that was actually
no,
WWE.
maybe it
but-
was Mankind, the original Sako name, the Mandible Claw. Put the hand in your
really?
mouth and give you the Mandible Claw.
Well, how many names did he have? Because he was also Cactus Jack, right? And
he was
there was
also
one other
Dude
one
Love.
also, I think. Yeah. That man has worse branding than some Dota players.
I mean, it's good enough branding to be in the Royal Rumble 3 times in one Royal Rumble. So, I mean, if you were involved in TI 3 times.
Oh, man, that would be a great gimmick, actually.
I'm like so confused by this 5-position DK. I just
Yeah,
want to see
and
what it accomplishes.
He can't do anything. I don't understand. Firestorm is going to be incredibly painful for him to have to deal with, seeing as how he's a strength hero and he has like extremely high HP. And I mean, Gyrocopter is like a relatively independent carry who doesn't really need that much support, as Vanscore and James are just duking it out right now. I don't even know why the Rubik is bothering. DK is more than willing to trade his HP for this, but yeah, it's an Orb of Venom DK. And James? Is the Trex just gonna walk all the way back to base? I mean, to tier 1? Yeah, it looks like the way. And Master is just pushing this as quickly as possible while this Gyrocopter is AFK, but not gonna be able to push it all the way.
They're trying to put these creeps under the tower, and we'll see what Zitrax can do. Again, James just getting harassed up a little bit by this 5-position DK. Still weird to say. But Vanscore doing his thing and trying to maybe get a repeat of the first game where he got first blood on James.
I honestly would not be surprised if it happens, because between Orb of Venom and Rocket Barrage, yeah, like, a Rubik can't really do very much against the DK, but also Mastery as Underlord does not really need to be too concerned about it either, as James is just taking abuse, but Mastery's going to get some body blocks off.
And so right now Zitrax harassing James, who's got himself just 2 tangos right now. This is better than James in the first game. He really struggled because he came back to lane with
Oh my god, he might
no
be dead.
regen.
Ooh.
You should have known better.
He burned 2 Fairy Fires already.
Boy.
I don't really think that Rubik can leave, though. That's the problem, because like his presence is useful. It's just that it's only useful for like counter initiation. Like if they try to go on to the Underlord, then he'll be able to discourage them with Fade Bolt. But otherwise, he's just kind of a liability here. I don't know. A very, very strange lane.
Take a look over mid. You've got 19 who's doing well again at 11 and 2, keeping up though his lightless. We saw 19 how well he played on the Queen of Pain in the first game. I really wouldn't be surprised to see him have another good time over mid. He is really proven to be quite proficient on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I think it was one of his favorite heroes at the minor as well. It's just his signature, so he feels comfortable in it. It was their last pick. They banned out Templar Assassin. They already knew that it would probably be going up against the Ember Spirit, most likely. Well, actually, maybe not. No, they didn't know, because the Slurk was the last pick, and they could have sent Ember safe lane, so maybe not the matchup he was hoping for, but one that he's clearly, as you said, proficient in. Nope, telekinesis on to Vanscore.
Vanscore as this 5-position DK on the run. Well, he's got decent regen for a 5-position.
Oh, get
that's for
wrecked.
sure with the Dragon Blood.
Get firestormed on yourself, son. But yeah, he has Dragon Blood, so he really does not need, like, it's not as important for him to get this regen off. He's basically just brawling with Mastery and James here. The top lane, actually, Tatake.
Get the kill
Goes
onto
down.
Tatake. BCZ getting credit for that one. He's also looking over at Eknart. He's got
He can get
Shikuchi in
this
just
kill.
a second if he wants to risk going onto the tower. Ooh, stays very safe on that with the creeps looking at him as well as going onto the tower. He might have just given away his life for a kill like that. Firestorm again.
This lane is like... And rocket barrage as well.
Zitrax ended up in a bit of an odd spot, but they just didn't have the mana here for James to get a telekinesis out or a fade bolt, or something that really hurt Zitrax from making a bit of an interesting move right there. You just see kind of what the gyro provides. Like, yes, the DK. I mean, he could sit here and just right-click you basically all day with the amount of regen he's got. However, Zitrax, just the flat cannon alone, it pushes James away.
Yeah, and Vaynescore actually opts to take the third point in Dragon Tail, which is a little bit surprising to me. I don't really know if he's going to have the mana for it, because now he basically can't breathe fire. He has a choice. Either I'm going to breathe fire to, you know, drive them back, or I'm going to Dragon Tail and we're going to be able to get a kill. And he doesn't even opt to like get the second point in Dragon Blood, so he this is the most aggressive option, is to skill up the Dragon Tail, but he is going to be able to take some bounty runes. Maybe he skilled it up just for these bounty runes, as he could stun out the Rubik, but he's just going to bypass that and get the other bounty rune. Meanwhile, Illusion in the top lane will get the other ones, so 3 likely going the way of Radiant.
Eventually, when they pick up this bounty rune. But does 19 have a bottle? Yes, he does, so they're probably leaving it for him to fill up that bottle. Yeah, no surprise there. Eknark goes down to BZZ, and then we take a look over towards bottom as Vanscore now. It takes a bit of a beating, but again, with that, even just that value point, as I'm calling it now, because he's only got 1 point in the Dragon's Blood, he's basically safe within this lane. And I say that as the Firestorm telekinesis comes in, Fade Bolt's there, and I immediately just get to eat my words, which is good because I haven't had lunch yet. Blink forward from 19, Queen of Pain comes in, James in trouble, Shadow strikes out on the Rubik. They'll get the kill there, they'll look to TP away for Mastery, and they will get themselves the Underlord out.
Yeah, not necessarily the best rotation for 19. I think they were hoping that they would commit more heavily. At least he'll get his bottle refilled as DK will TP back, pick up the bottle, and give a charge to 19. He may actually stick around here, though, because Underlord is back, and he has Sonic Wave, and they have the Dragon Tail, but Master is playing very, very conservatively because he has not seen Quap return mid. And there's a Siege Creep attacking mid, so she needs to get back eventually.
Yeah, now they've got that ward down, they'll get the vision, the blink forward, Mastery, and James both hit with that Scream. I almost think that Queen of Pain might need to... Yeah, I thought if 19 tries to TP over, but he doesn't have the TP available to do something like that anyway, because they have the ward down, I would just sense like James walking over, telekinesis. Yeah, you'll walk and blink back.
Loses like half of his mid-tier 1 tower, so yeah, not really a very profitable rotation for that Queen of Pain, just being able to pick up a Rubik and that's it.
2,000 net worth lead here for Unique. You can see that BZZ's
Wow,
having
Slark
himself a
goes
great
mid?
time.
What?
Shows a mid Remnant looking for 19. Very aggressive play there from Empire. Hope that really doesn't come up with any results.
Yeah, I mean, if Slark was level 6, then maybe, because he would have like the move speed with Shadow Dance to be able to get... Well, he only has 1 point in Pounce also. I have no idea why Slark went mid, but now it seems like Lightless is going to take over top. It's possible that he just like can't lane top anymore, as bot lane mastery actually goes down to that Dragon Tail Rocket Barrage combination. Now Amber Spirit's going bot. What the hell is going on with these lanes? Now Tusk Snowball in?
Yeah, the Snowball comes through as well as the Breathe Fire coming out from Vanscore. They get the kill onto James. They've got Zitrax right here. Lightless made his way over here to try and get a kill with a Sleight of Fist, and then the Remnant will get one, and a second will fall as both Illusion and Vanscore bite it.
But now BZZ sees this this Ember Spirit up top, yeah, who has no charges, but he was able to take off the Swarm Bug. And I guess that pays off. Yeah, he left a Remnant in the top lane, and very, very clean Sleight of Fist to dodge that first call down missile. dodge most of that magic damage to keep his flame guard up, and then immediately goes back to top. So solid rotation. Not one that I would have expected from an Ember Spirit who was originally in the mid lane, but I think Slark just can't deal with this tag team plus Geminate attack anymore. It's just too much for him to lane against.
Yeah, and you can see where he is in terms of net worth, just so far behind comparatively to the Gyro, not only the Gyrocopter, but the Weaver as well. And mid lane's been just about even, and that's where that 2,000 net worth lead is starting from. Meanwhile, though, BZZ comes over, hits the Shikuchi out on the Eknart. Nothing more will follow that up. With the Gyrocopter sitting low, Rocket Barrage thrown. They've got the Dragon Tail out on the Rubik. Breathe Fire to follow that up. Good amount of damage being done here onto the Rubik with the rotation now coming through from Illusion. They've got the Ice Shards. They'll get the kill, and with the rotation from Eknart, can they get anything on the return? It doesn't look like it will be so, as they finally have that second point in the Dragon's Blood for Vanscore, so he's just regenning like a monster.
Yeah, and super value range drop for him as well. This is like DK range drop usually in the mid lane. Like range drop is a great item on DK because that mitigates his only weakness, which is high burst magic damage. And they're looking like they want to challenge.
Bottom, Inkswell, James trying to get a stun, but will be avoided with the snowball. Will take the Phantom's Embrace out. Telekinesis lifts him up, but not over to the shard, so they'll get the kill here out onto James. Illusion able to run away from that one, and then Eknart ends up dead to the Queen of Pain rotating over. So 2 kills there for Unique. Similar score to what we saw in the first game, and they are starting to take over the map, all while keeping BZZ free to farm up towards top.
She still has this DD rune, so Slark can't necessarily just push this uncontested, so yeah, he's going to have to back off, and 19, that is definitely a much more valuable rotation, being able to make sure that they secure the bounty runes, which Lightless ends up getting 2, so looks like it's 2 apiece. But clearly, I mean, this is not the game plan for the Slark. You don't want to have to be able to, you don't want to have to like swap to mid, and now Illusion actually pounces out, but well, Sonic Wave is up. Actually, you gotta go. Oh my god.
He's got the Arcane Rune. Like, this is going to be really troublesome for Tataka. The Breathe Fire comes in from Vanscore. He's level 6. They'll get the kill here onto the Sark. They look over at Eknart, but they've got the Telekinesis throwing him down onto the Tusk. Blink away. Illusion surviving. Tag team now looks over at Eknart, and with the help of Vanscore, will get the kill. So 2 kills there for the side of Team Unique, losing nothing. But now I say
Dude,
that
he was getting dragon form right now.
Yeah, he is really doing a lot. They've got the Remnant coming through. Illusion, though, survives again. Zitrax gets the kill onto James. Finally, 19 falls to Lightless with the Flame Guard. Mastery making the rotation towards mid, throws a Pin of Malice down, but BZZ, he's looking to join the fight.
Casual 10 heroes mid at 11 minutes, sure, why not? For Dire, I definitely understand it. That DK with the he was just sitting underneath the tier 1. Queen of Pain with that Arcane Rune was able to do so much with just 2 points in Blink, but that Arcane Rune makes a world of difference in her evasiveness, and being able to pick up the kill on the Slark, pick up the kill on both the supports, ultimately does go down to the Ember Spirit, but still makes an ocean of space, and Zitrax pops in for some quick cleanup duty, but isn't able to get much, and he will return back bot.
This has been not the start that they were hoping for Team Empire Hope, especially with the fact that the DK, I mean, he's a 5 position, but he's a part of 8 of the 11 kills. He's done a really good job so far.
Yeah, I think the hardest part would have just been getting past the laning phase. Once that's done, then I think you're pretty satisfied at how this 5 position DK has panned out. He's going to be going for Wand into Blink Dagger, and they want to defend mid.
And they're going to try and save it. They've got the Walrus Punch out onto Eknart. They look over Mastery. The call down coming through from Zitrax. Lightless will focus the tower, so he'll get the kill onto the tier 1. But they lose Eknart, and they might even lose more. Shards are there with the Dragon Tail. James shows up. I don't know about that one, but he's got a Shikuchi. The snowball all the way through, but they won't catch the Rubik. However, behind them, Lightless comes in. He's got a Remnant to try and leave. Zitrax thinking about initiating on a Lightless. Meanwhile, the entire time, 19's just kind of sitting over top, continuing to farm.
It's very hard for me to look at that and be like, oh, it's just a DK. It's just a 5 position DK who died. No big deal. But that is the case. It was just a 5 position DK that ends up going down. And they did manage to yet again pick off this Underlord, who is looking surprisingly squishy, but it's just because the chase potential on Unique is so high. They never give up. They don't have to. Their team is so mobile. They can dive extremely easily. They've got time-lapse, Shikuchi, Snowball, and then just like an inherently super tanky DK.
So we took a look over at BZZ for a second, and he's got Diffusal queued up. It won't be that first item Ags that we have seen some of the time here with an offlane Weaver. I like the Diffusal here. You kind of swayed me on the whole, Ags first item not being that great.
Yeah, I mean, if they had the Slark on their team, then maybe I'd be okay with it. Again, you need these heroes that can take advantage of a second life, which isn't always the case. As strange as that sounds, they get that stun, but Soulbind connects because he wanted oh no, why'd you go for the rune?
Jeez, they'll get the kill onto Mastery over top. Van score goes down, as does BZZ. Soulbind doing work. I was looking at the top rune where Mastery gets pounced by 19, and then all of a sudden I made that look over bottom, and the camera's just like,
yeah, it was Soulbind onto the DK, and it wasn't in range of the Weaver, but then Weaver was like, oh, there's an illusion rune here. I should walk in to pick it up, and he ends up bumbling into the leash radius and gets caught by it.
That's where I need that JJ casting set where I can show multiple parts of the map at the same time. But I'm pretty sure that requires multiple computers.
Indeed. And probably multiple people, and I ain't about that life.
I'll get my own production over here at the house. I'll hire some people.
That's the spirit. Aknart taking some abuse, but Slark is coming in.
With an Inkswell too,
silence.
So this is a big problem for BZZ because he is just dead. And that is BZZ coming out of lane and dying back to back.
Yeah, which has been kind of traded along with the Underlord as well, so both the offlaners are having a pretty rough time in now top lane.
Eknar with the stroke of fate to finish off 19, and now the silence through onto this. Tusk, they are going to get themselves another kill. Unique kind of throwing away their advantage there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're not really strong enough to be able to get these, like, split picks. Like I said, their strength was in the team fight capabilities. Aside from that, in hit and run situations, Empire Hope are far superior. There's no Vank score on the run, and I don't think there's any way he can get out of this.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
Wow, Aknart, seriously? Seriously? Come on, man.
Support seed farm too.
Yeah, I mean, if this was like a good game for Dark Portrait Aghanim Scepter, then maybe, but this is not a good game for that, so the Slark 100% needs these kills. He's like 2k net worth behind the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, that's the kind of sport I support. It's kind of gameplay I support. Big fan.
Satake is making his way to the Diffusal Blade, and they see BZZ down bot.
Who's swapped over to the Ags from the Diffusal Blade.
Wow, very half-hearted. So what is he going to do with his Ogre Axe? Just... Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, so the Blade of... Okay. I don't really agree with this. I don't think that he needs to... Like, they're clearly... I don't know, it makes him a little bit more survivable, I suppose, but Gyrocopter and Queen of Pain have like so much damage that they need to deal, and I don't think that they can burst the Slark in time. Someone needs to be able to chase the Slark, and it can't be the Queen of Pain, because if she goes too deep, she'll probably die, so it's kind of up to the Weaver. Nice read. That would have been pretty slick if Rubik got that Shikuchi Inkswell, and now he's getting Orchided up, as that is the reveal from the Queen of Pain.
Very dead, and Diffusal now finished for the Slark. They're actually going to look for Aknar here. Can they catch him? BZZ running with the Shikuchi. Illusion, Shard's not in time, but I think they're just... Aknar almost trying to draw them in towards a Lightless. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, they've got Phantom's Embrace, and now the Soulbind gets him locked up to Van score. Time-lapse anyway, it doesn't matter. They got through his life twice. And they still get heals here on the Tusk. So they'll bounce over that, they'll get themselves a third, and that was a good job by Empire Hope drawing them closer and closer to that tier 1 tower.
That was super greedy to not go for the time lapse immediately. There's like Aknart's positioning has been consistently fantastic, and he's going to get that silence off on the Weaver every single time. And this time, DK returns the favor by walking into that Soulbind, which obviously a 5-position DK would try to get a stun to save his 3-position Weaver, but ends up getting them both killed as well as the Tusk. And I don't know, these teamfights seem so half-hearted. And now Gyrocopter dueling it with the Ember Spirit, but Ember Spirit has the Blade Mail, has the Yules. Gyro's gonna need a few more items besides the Aghanim Scepter before he's able to take that fight.
Blade Mail Yules going Radiance next here for Lightless. And for the Gyrocopter, Zitrax, who's been sitting top of the net worth consistently throughout the game, he's going BKB and he'll go Diffusal. But we'll see if that ends up being value for them. He's trying to go in with the Ink Soul as well as the Pounce. Vanscore TP's out.
Man, and BZZ's cutting the wave, so they may not even be able to push this. Oh, one more creep. Wow, okay. He's stalling this push out. I'm very surprised that Unique are just not team fighting more. I feel like their team fight is way, way stronger. If they're gonna wait for the Aghanim Scepter, then so be it, as BZZ is probably gonna commit to the point booster here, I imagine.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Freaking Philosopher's Stone on the Weaver also. This is a complete pivot as Illusion gets caught out mid.
He'll try to survive, but there's 3 heroes here ready to take his life away. And they're trying to save it for Tatake, but Eknar gets the kill. The Sonic Wave through into Tatake, but he goes into the Shadow Dance. Homing Missile just short. Almost stunned him. And now they're going to try and Dark Rift to leave. They've got 3 heroes in the Uber, and there's my ride.
Man, if that Slark had died, that would have been pretty bad, but him being able to just narrowly get out is a big asset, and I don't know, Empire Hope are playing very, very well. They're just dragging Unique around the map constantly, not really giving them a position to farm or 5-man or let the Gyrocopter, like, I don't know, take advantage of his Aghanim Scepter, and this is a much, much better performance than in Game 1. They're still down in net worth, so it's still Unique favored at the moment, but who knows for how long, as actually he gets rooted by the Ancient, the Gyrocopter, and now Tatake will follow up. Oh, what a miserable time to be farming that Ancient camp.
Still surviving for the moment, but again, another Slark kill, I feel, just goes to somebody else.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a streak that could have been very, very nice to put in the pockets of the Slark. He was playing well. Like, Tatake has recovered exceptionally well, given the start that he had. And
he's still
looking for more.
2,000 behind this Gyrocopter, though. Now he looks over at Vanscore. He's got the Refusal Blade. Vanscore turns around with Dragon Tail, but he's dead to rights. Mastery gets that one, too.
Look at this support Slark. Look at that. 3, 2, and 5. What a team-oriented player giving up all these assists.
Jesus.
Oh, Illusion.
They're just finding pick after pick after pick. Oh my god. He's getting a permanent agility. It's not the worst thing in the world. He's got himself 7 permanent agility. But, I mean, that is, what, 5 or 6 times in a row?
Yeah, I think so. And the last 3 have been, like, unintentional, to be fair, but he could be on a spree right now. Maybe that's what it is. They're tactically not giving the Slark the spree, so that if he dies, he won't give up that much.
19, just about finishing off this BKB. About 600 gold if my NA math is right. Left to get here on the Gyrocopter.
I mean, hopefully they start grouping up, because they're just getting picked apart for really no reason, it seems. Because their team fight, again, like, it's so good.
Smoke immediately into a fight. Now. They're going to try and go after the Gyrocopter, who Zitrax is taken out of this fight immediately. They've got the Telekinesis as well as the Pit of Malice down. They get the kill on Illusion. They look over at Vanscore to take a 3rd. That is Empire Hope just sitting on the opposite side of the river constantly.
Yeah, great movement, solid initiation, and now should be able to take Roche completely uncontested. Queen of Pain is going to finish off her BKB, so she will have the money for that and, like, one more creep. Gyrocopter, as you said, still kind of a little ways away from it, but at a certain point, Unique really needs to just start grouping up and moving as 5, because that's all Empire Hope are doing. And at this point, I do think that the 5v5 is superior right now for Empire Hope, because they have all these mid-game oriented items. The Blade Mail from and Yules from the Ember Spirit is a great early team fight item. Slark with this Diffusal Blade, and he's going to be getting a second item BKB. He'll be ready to fight constantly. And meanwhile, BZZ has this Aghanim Scepter, and he can't fight, which is why I was very surprised that he opted for this, because who is dealing damage on their team right now? Because Gyrocopter is still farming. He's got the Aghanim Scepter. He doesn't want to have to do anything too serious in terms of team fight quite yet. Queen of Pain now has the BKB on top of the Orchid, but with just the Orchid, it was more pick-off oriented. And now BZZ. Ooh.
Blink. Silence, but that's purged off. Tatake now turning on a 19. However, here comes Illusion into the Shadow Dance. He'll go. Tatake now focuses his attention over onto the Tusk, but he's got the pounce. He doesn't leech. Illusion now on the run. Shards nicely placed. The rest of the Dire are starting to rotate over, however, and this is going to be a problem for the side of Unique, who will lose this Tusk. And they're also potentially going to lose Van Score as well. Not potentially, it is for sure.
They've missed a huge timing on Unique, and yet somehow they're still maintaining a net worth advantage ever so slightly, but BKBs are completed now. I just don't think that they want to fight into this Aegis from Slark, so they may still stall things out a little bit. As Slark is looking for 19. Is he going to have to use his BKB for this?
Radiant's middle tower
Okay,
17. He's got 17 Essence Shift and 12 permanent agility. He is hitting fast and hard. I wonder if this really just stems off the fact that BZZ's gone into the Ags instead of the Diffusal.
Radiant's middle
Yeah, well, because then you had three people who wanted to farm. The Gyrocopter's like, I need to get my BKB, I have Aghanim Scepter. Like, the Gyrocopter has the best excuse, because he's the one position. He's allowed to spend as much time as he wants as... oh, wow, Vanguard actually gets killed on Underlord's Courier, but at least he survives and Dark Rift's back to base. So, yeah, you have three cores. Queen of Pain's like, okay, I have this Orchid, I want to go fight. And no one else wants to fight with her because no one else deals damage. And so she's like, okay, fine, then I'm just going to farm my BKB. Gyrocopter has his Aghanim Scepter, and he's like, okay, well, I mean, this is my farming item. I don't want to fight right now. So Gyrocopter's fine. But then Weaver gets an Aghanim Scepter, like, first item, and can't do anything with it because no one wants to fight. So, I don't know, very miscoordinated itemization from Unique and now Zitrax.
Diffusal, Zitrax in trouble. Swarm gets thrown by the Weaver, and Zitrax might be able to turn this one around with the help of his team, but they've soul-bound both the Weaver as well as the Tusk. Tatake taking a lot of damage, but about the BKB, they've got themselves the time lapse. So now is this the time where Unique come ahead? They look over to Tatake, but he runs in the Shadow Dance. He still has that Aegis, meanwhile, so it's not like even if he dies, his fight is over by any stretch of the means. But they look over at Vanscore, they get the kill to the DK, they've got the Pit of Malice onto two. The Remnant forward coming in from Lightless, as they'll find 19, who is still man-fighting on this, but not going to come ahead with any kills. And Snowball into the Walrus Punch. I don't understand what Illusion's looking to accomplish going into all 5 heroes like that. So now you take a look as Pit of Malice is out once again. Zitrax on the run, but force that forward onto the Underlord. Zitrax taking a lot of damage. He'll end up dead. They finally get the kill there onto 1, but that is a lot to pay for just the kill onto the Underlord.
And they don't even take the Aegis off. Like, 19 was fully committed to finishing off that Slark. The dude still has the Aegis for like a minute and a half. You weren't even like timing it in a way that, oh, maybe I'll finish him off and as the Aegis is timing out. No, like, there was no way that fight was going to go well. It's possible that he was just, I don't know, Blink was on cooldown, but he was BKB'd. I don't know what the deal is with Unique right now, but you saw one time lapse, and that was Weaver's entire contribution to the fight. He brought Gyrocopter back from near certain death, and then Gyrocopter activates the BKB, and then he's the only one dealing damage.
This is like a complete opposite of the Unique we saw in Game 1. Just not coordinated. Or at least it feels like their builds aren't as coordinated, their movements aren't as coordinated, and for Empire Hope, I mean, they're on the flip side too. They look so much better and clean walking around as 5.
I mean, they got through the laning phase with this support DK business, which great, but most other supports would probably have gotten some major item by now because they could get kills. And now Vanscore's just going to feed another permanent essence.
snowball
Oh,
to
nice
the other side
snowball.
of the river, not a bad plan, but it doesn't get all the way across. So now the Stroke of Fate comes in as well as the Sight of Fist, searing chains onto two of these heroes. They look over Advanced War as well as Illusion. They get the kill onto the DK as well as the Tusk, but the Sonic
Aegis
Wave is
reclaimed.
out. And Tatake's courier will go down. He's trying to get away from this one as he's got the Ink Swell. The Aegis was reclaimed like you mentioned, and they get the kill onto the Slark. That's big. And they're going to look to just leave. Dark Rift, and not enough damage to kill anybody else off.
Wait, BZZ may be able to snipe a courier. He's gonna go high ground? Yeah. Big plays.
Courier has been killed.
That has been Weaver's contribution to the majority of this game. He did get another time lapse off, but oh wait, my game's lagging. Did I? You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I could still hear you. I don't know if
Okay.
it's just in
Yeah.
game.
They win the fight, but these are costing a lot of their early BKB charges. It is 8 seconds now for the Queen of Pain and the Gyrocopter, I believe. Yeah, so this was a massive spike for them, and basically all they've been able to do is kill off the Underlord one time and kill off the Slark one time. And I don't know. I think the game will just continue to get harder unless a Vanscore can suddenly enter the game. He's got a Bracer, Tranquil Boots, and a Windlace. He's like a solid 900 gold away from a Blink Dagger. He's got the Philosopher's Stone though, so maybe he will passively make his way over there, but this support DK is, I don't know, this is not the game for it, especially, again, if Weaver's going to go Aghanim Scepter, because no one is dealing any damage in these fights. It's all up to Gyrocopter, it seems.
He is super underfarmed, on top of which both supports on Empire Hope are very well farmed.
Yeah. Also because they have like a lot of structures. They have like a 2-tower advantage compared to what Unique have right now on the map. And both outposts go the way of Dire, so that's another heavy loss going the way of Unique.
Yeah, making up a lot of experience there. As Dota Plus has it as 88% chance here for Empire Hope. The experience is 15,000 for the side
Jesus.
of Empire Hope. That is a lot.
Yeah, it's insane. For 30 minutes, that's ridiculous. Roche potential to respawn in 30 seconds. Unique can definitely win a Roche fight if they're aware of it. So I imagine they're probably just going to sit tight until they can get some vision around the pit and maybe confirm what the situation is. But for right now, they just need to hope that they don't get picked again.
They got the Diffusal Blade on Zitrax. Looks like the plan is then Butterfly, Satanic, Divine Rapier, which of course is going to be a long while away. But is the Diffusal Blade enough?
I am surprised that he's going for it, period. I guess they need something to deal with the Ember Spirit, because, I don't know, the Cripple or the Inhibit is not really going to help them against the Slark too much, who can just purge it off, and has a BKB as well.
Seems like a bit of a late item pickup. Meanwhile, Weaver, he saved up completely for the ulti orb, which will eventually turn into a Solar Crest. So, I mean, he's got just I think a little bit short of the medallion, and not too far off till the full Solar Crest is there. Majority of that price coming in on the ulti orb. But we'll see what Unique can do. They are starting to group up over towards top, however, bottom's just pushing in. They've got a Siege Creep to help push in that bottom tier 3. And now the Glyph comes in from the side of Empire Hope. That'll actually help the bottom one continue to push. Telekinesis, and what did they steal? They stole the Rocket Barrage. So there's the time lapse coming through, but Zitrax, he is just continually locked down. They need to try and keep this Gyrocopter alive. The Dragon Tail gets thrown forward as well as the Walrus Punch hitting onto Tatake. The shards are a good one to block away this Slark. Now they need to try and retreat on this. Remnant over, Illusion TPing out. So does Zitrax. They don't lose anything in that exchange, but they do pop some BKBs.
Yeah, that's a popped BKB, and Roche is going to respawn in 30 seconds now, which I think it was the right call to go for the BKB TP on the Gyrocopter. It ended up not mattering, but also it would have been devastating if he did end up dying after all of the team did to save him. But now I don't know how easy it will be for them to contest the Roche. We'll see if Empire Hope time it properly, but they should get this tier 1. Wow, I'm actually amazed that Unique are considering contesting this.
There's no reason to even try to defend this tier 1 tower, but they've got the silence as well as the Shadow Strike. It's an AoE Shadow Strike that does quite a bit, but now that Vanscore's jumped in, he's in some trouble. Dragon Tail comes in, they'll get the kill there on Vanscore. Take loses his courier again. They've got the Pin of Malice down right in front of the tier 1 tower. They'll blink away on 19, but Lightless still trying to follow up on the Queen of Pain. So Blade Mail is popped, 19 trying to run. The Phantom's Embrace misses thanks to the Euls, and the BKB is forced to leave.
Why bother defending a tier 1 tower in your off lane at this stage with, like, they couldn't take a fight because Gyro did not have the BKB. If it was like an opening to take a fight, then sure, go for it. But at most, they can defend the tower. They can't win a fight. And now they're going to lose their tier 2 tower because Queen of Pain doesn't have her BKB now. So Gyro has his back, but now Quops is down.
I guess maybe it gives them enough time to 5v5 against this Roche, but still, it just seems like an odd maneuver to try and defend that.
Empire, I hope, have all of the map control in the world
And
now, so
Gyro
they're not even any
again.
pusher.
He is in a lot of trouble. The damage is there. They'll get the kill. This is now going to probably force him to buy back. That is just bad to worse. They've got the Phantom's Embrace onto the Queen of Pain. And 19, Sonic Wave, time lapse is there. Buyback comes in, but even with the time lapse, it's just 19 dead. This game is really starting to look the way of Empire Hope. They're going to Dark Rift out of this one. They've got the Telekinesis, and if they get the kill to the Gyrocopter, the game could just be over, but the Dark Rift finally pulls them away.
That's fine. It's the conservative play. At this point, it's their game to lose. I don't even really see like a Gyro Rapier necessarily changing things that significantly. And they should be able to take Roche pretty well as they just smoke immediately back to mid. Nighttime hits as well, and they find the Tusk. May just have to settle for him.
Yeah, they've got the Inkswell as well as the Pounce. Eknar takes another kill out of the hands of Tatake, but it doesn't matter. He's continuing to get himself that permanent agility, now at 22 permanent agility. This is just falling apart for Unique. They never took advantage of anything that they had going for them.
No. And their laning phase went, like, pretty well. Again, like, you had a 5-position DK, and you got away with it. And then you just kind of gave it all away. And now they're going to siege high ground, because Quap can't come back for another 10 seconds. Oh, they find Gyro. Uh-oh.
Gyrocopter Telekinesis as well as the Clumsy Net. That kill would probably secure them the game. The BKB has popped the Rocket Barrage on the run. Vanscore trying to do all he can, but the Soulbind actually locks him up to the Queen of Pain. So now the BKB no longer available on the Gyrocopter as well as the Queen of Pain. The jump forward from Lightless trying to do enough damage. He might have got in too far. He ends up dead. That is a big overstep as 19 gets the kill. He does not have buyback.
Yeah, and the streak goes the way of the Gyrocopter also, who gets a ton of gold off of that. And now they may not actually be able to take Roche. Dark Rift will be able to bring them back to base, but Unique should like immediately move towards the pit now, because they did not lose a Rax, so it's not like they need to be too concerned about anything. And Vanscore is establishing some vision around the pit, may go for the top outpost. I don't know, they're moving very slowly to this. I mean, at the minimum, at least force out a potential Ember buyback, which is not impossible, but they don't know that, so just kind of keep pushing this.
At the right time, he's only 20 gold short.
Yeah, so I mean they don't know that he doesn't have it, and them being able to get this
Dragon Tail out onto the Underworld. They need to focus this Roche. They're actually leaving it low for Tatake to come in and potentially steal it, and that's exactly what he's going to try and do. They've got the buyback coming from the Ember. There's the blink forward from 19. The Sonic Wave pushes him away. They've got themselves the Aegis onto the Gyrocopter. Is it going to be enough with the Soulbind locking up the Quap to the Gyrocopter? The time lapse is there again. They get the kill on Illusion, and now they look for the rest. They've popped the Aegis already. They've stunned up the Ember. Gyro all by his lonesome self. Zitrak trying to man-fight this. He's got the Blade Mail out, but it's not going to be enough. So Lightless taking a lot of damage. You got to remember, he just popped back. This is really impossible for him. He ends up dead, but so does the Queen of Pain. Now Zitrak's continuing to try and clean up. He gets the kill on James. That's 2 heroes gone without themselves having buyback. The Dragon Tail is out onto the Underworld, and he himself does not have buyback either. This is falling apart for Empire as they are running away from the side of Unique, and this is without the Queen of Pain.
Wow, that is a brutal chain of events for Team Empire. Oh man, Zitrex has gotten so much in like the last 2 minutes. 2 back-to-back fights won. ultimately it was just as Aegis claimed, which the more important thing is that they didn't put the Aegis in the hands of Team Empire Hope. And yeah, that is a dieback for the Ember Spirit, which is brutal because, I mean, he was doing very, very well. His Ember Spirit was being a huge nuisance for the Queen of Pain between the Blade Mail, the Yules, and the AC. And now he's going to start falling off. He's out of the game for 80 seconds. Slark himself needs to be careful because, I mean, he could get very easily caught out by a Blink Dragon Tail, which is now online for Vanscore, finally. And a Force Staff as well. So Vanscore also gets a ton out of these last few fights. And they're just going to start pushing really, really fast now.
Let's bring this.
Queen of Pain is dead for 40 seconds, but she does have an AC, so whenever she joins the fight, it's going to start snowballing out of control.
The game's back to even. I mean, it's 5,000, but it definitely feels like it's one buyback away from being even, or even just a solid push here. They know the Ember doesn't have buyback. You bought back to get into that last fight, so without the Ember, are they confident in pushing this mid lane?
Definitely. Slark is not the kind of hero that can well, I mean, even with like his support, if his Underlord was up, then Slark could be a threat. But for the next 20 seconds, they should be able to do whatever they want. I don't know if there are any repair kits available for Dire. Let's see. Nope. Oh, wait. I'm clicking on the wrong one. Also, nope. Yeah, they don't have any repair kits available. And actually, Unique haven't even gotten any of their tier 4 items yet, but that's fine. I imagine they're probably just going to wait until, theoretically, the Underlord buys back, but he's probably not going to, even if he did have the money, because it's only 20 seconds away. So get as much tier 3 tower damage as you can. Probably wouldn't be able to take a Rex without the Queen of Pain, and then start jungling for your tier 4 items.
And this is all of a sudden Unique pulling within arm's length, or arm's reach is the proper saying on that one. Slark's sitting top of the net worth. There was a point in this game where he was behind a multiple thousands of net worth.
Yeah. No, well, they're actually backing off.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kind of sucks for the Ember Spirit. I feel bad because basically all of this has happened because the Ember Spirit dove a little bit too deep during that tier 3 push. He goes down, doesn't have the money for an immediate buyback, and so he has to buy back halfway into the Roche attempt, which is a little bit too late. Ends up dying back, and yeah, it is a pretty miserable way to give up such a heavy advantage.
Are they going to get both?
First tier 4
outposts?
items claimed. Yeah, and I think they should probably get both the outposts as Dire is quickly moving bot, but may be able to move up top. Relic
This is going to turn into a fight. This is going to be a 5-on-5. Unique's here. If they fight this, I don't know if that's really to be advised here for Empire. They're going to try. I mean, they have enough heroes here to take the outpost immediately with the snap of a finger. They'll take it with one right now, and I think they want to have it be as long as possible to make maybe Unique think it's only one hero.
But now this is like a super
Oh,
peculiar
Tatake!
angle of approach.
They've got themselves the Dragon Tail, and now they're trying to get the kill. The BKBs, they're going to be there for the side of the Sark, or for the hero of Sark. DK in a lot of trouble. Tatake ends up getting the kill there on a Vanscore, but now, can they start to turn this around for the side of Unique? They lose themselves Illusion. They look over at the Ember Spirit, who's taking a lot of damage here with the BKB being popped by 19. Oh boy, BZZ on the run. Pin of Malice on the edge. Tatake coming over, and now this is the Weaver who will fall. Ember died though, so 92 seconds without him. Is that enough?
Man,
Especially
props to
Zitrax needs to get
Tatake.
out.
He had like no time to react to that. Basically, as soon as he saw that he they get the root on the
Zitrax!
gyrocopter.
That's a huge problem. No buyback for that gyro. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's not good. The rest of his team will be up, and Weaver can buy back though, and they have Glyph, so I don't anticipate there being too much structural damage. Although they could go bot to top, I guess. I don't know. They're probably just gonna try to finish off the bot tier 3s, but yeah, man, that I can't believe Stark was able to get that Dark Pact off as he was going up the stairs and DK stunned him, because he had like half a second to react to his Shadow Dance move speed being lost and immediately popped it. I don't even think Weaver buying back would actually have that much of an impact. And Radiant also don't have any repair kits. Who's the Relic on? Oh, the Timeless Relic is on Vanscore, and he's holding the Spider Legs. Man, give one of those to the Tusk.
try and grab this tier 3. They will. Ninja Gear found by the Queen of Pain. It looks like it's going to be at least a set of racks. They've got the Ember, though, up from 15, and Gyro's still out for another minute.
Yeah, Queen of Pain's going to try to cut off this mid wave. So, I mean, the creeps are already in the base, so you can't really stop backdoor protection. And poor Weaver. He does literally nothing. He has Solar Crest and Ags.
That's right, Pit of Malice. Now they've got the Silence out onto the Slark, but there's the Telekinesis. BKB is popped by 19. This is more just to survive. Lotus Orb throws the Shadow Strike back. They've got the Dragon Tail out on Take. He needs to be a little bit careful with how far he's going to go in. That's what cost them probably winning this game a little bit earlier. But here comes Lightless. Gyrocopter still not here for 20 seconds. They don't have the BKB on 19, so he's just stuck here in the Pit of Malice as well as Pounds coming through. They've got the time lapse, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Sonic Wave pushes them away. They've got the Telekinesis on 2 of these heroes. They have the buyback available on the Queen of Pain, but they look over at Illusion. They'll get the count of the Tusk. 4 heroes gone. 6 seconds till Gyrocopter's back up, and it's 2 sets of racks for the Dire side. We're back at 11,000 net worth lead.
Are they going to go for Megas, or are they going to try to force out this Queen of Pain buyback? They get the Tusk buyback.
And the Queen of Pain. Mimosyl's coming back to the tracks. Or at least it was before it was taken out. Now they look over at the Underworld. Try to deter these heroes from continuing to go in. As Lightless comes over with the Remnant onto the side, but they get themselves the kill into the Underlord. He has buyback. He's down for 90 seconds. Eknart on the run, TP's out with a little bit of the help from the Magic Horn. Or the Minotaur Horn.
Empire Hope really have to mess things up if this game is going to go Radiant's way. I don't really see... Because, like, I don't know. This game could still go on a while because Gyrocopter, let's see. And yeah, he's got the Rapier queued up, but he's a long ways away from it. But they can definitely hold on to this last set of racks for quite a while. Queen of Pain can... She's so slippery that she should be able to get out of most situations. As Slark does not have... Oh, Slark does have an Abyssal, actually. Okay, so actually, Queen of Pain may not be able to stall this out for as long as anticipated. We'll have to see. 19 has his work cut out for him, but it's up to him to pretty much make sure that he can buy enough time for this Gyrocopter to get to Rapier, because that's the only way I see Unique winning this game.
That, or if they kill Take while he doesn't have buyback available.
Yeah, that's also true. Which he's 900 gold short right now, and hopefully he does not
potentially a minute
commit to a Butterfly, because he definitely needs buyback available.
And Square thinking about it.
Well, Roche potential respawn in 40 seconds, and problem with playing against the Slark is that no matter how much map control you think you establish, it's very, very easy for his team to get rid of it, just because as soon as he loses his buff, and he has a gem of his own, so Take actually, yeah, he should be able to deward everything.
Grab that outpost of around 45 minutes. They'll also smoke up as they're feeling potentially a Roche coming in as well. They'll go past the pit. They look over towards the high ground, and I, again, don't know why they're entirely here. Tusk is just dead.
Yeah. That was his buyback also, so he's dead for a very, very long time. It's a pretty middle-of-the-road Roche respawn, though. Minute and 10 seconds, so he'll be back in time.
Yeah, just as it comes up, he'll be back. But they've got the Hex on 19. He buys out. Of course, not having that buyback for another 5.5 minutes. So goes through to the Hex. He's also got Spell Prism, which is Scream every 5.6 seconds with a 1.2 second Fear. It could be, I mean, potentially defense. That's doable. But again, they're going onto the high ground. They're not waiting for Roche.
It's a little bit risky, but Slark has buyback now, so it's not a big deal.
And they go in. There's a lot of damage coming through immediately with the Sonic Wave being stolen immediately from James! Well, thrown right back at the side of Unique. They've got themselves the time on time with the Queen of Pain, but they look over at this Gyrocopter. Zitrax ends up dead. He's got himself buyback. He'll be immediately forced to use it. And now they'll try to find themselves a couple of kills on the side of Unique, but they're not looking good with this one. They've got the kill in advance where they've taken out 2. They'll buy back on the Dragon Knight immediately. They look over now at Take, who's being hexed. He's in trouble. Lotus Orb is on him, but the Pit of Malice is down. The BKB's been popped by Zitrax, and a lot of damage coming through into the Slark, but it's not going to be enough. Inkswell to try and run into the Shadow Dance with the Scream as well as the Dark Wave. Can they get out of there? Underworld trying to survive it all, trying to pull back the team just in time! Oh! He had, double digits of health?
Yeah. Oh my god. He was milliseconds away from death. Wow, and that would have been devastating if he died, because BKB was down for Slark, as well as his Shadow Dance ult. Oh man, that could have been so devastating, but they narrowly get out. 5 stars.
Why? That is not the spot you want to be in, especially knowing that Slark's got himself an Abyssal Blade. But now they're coming around the side. They've got themselves the Dragon Tail. It's a 5-on-5 engagement with the Pit of Malice drop down, as well as the Soulbind climbing up onto the Gyrocopter, as well as this Tusk. But they've got the time lapse out onto the Gyrocopter. It's not going to be enough. Zitrax falls. He's dead for 2 minutes. They look over at Illusion to take him out as well. BKB's been popped by Tatake. Dragon Tail is out from Vanscore onto the Ember, but it's not going to be enough. I mean, 2 minutes without the Gyro, this game is pretty much over. As, well, there's the triple kill for Lightless. This is...
Yeah, it's pretty much over.
They're trying to hold it. I mean, they haven't called it just yet. Creeps aren't exactly pushing him for the moment, but they can over mid.
Well, I mean, they need to keep track of one of these waves, because BZZ might cut off mid, but the top is pushing also, so I think they'll just use the top wave as
Courier
Tatake.
with Rubik's Axe is dead. Will it matter?
Why are they just trying to go through backdoor protection? Just finish off the top wave. Alright, whatever. They have enough damage. Did they have the Firestorm? Oh yeah, they have the Firestorm building damage talent, so that definitely makes it a lot easier.
Dark Rift to go top.
Yeah.
Stopped. Okay.
Nope.
19 now going in on this Grimstroke. Looks for the kill. Gets the kill on Aknar. He doesn't have buyback. He's dead for 95 seconds. But Illusion also falls once again. 19 goes back into the base. BKB's been popped by BZZ. They're going to dive the well for this one. Tatake taking a lot of damage, but GG is finally called once they lose this Queen of Pain. And we'll be going to a game 3.
I'm rarely, like, super critical about itemization, but